By the way, if you haven't already figured it out, this is not a ticket. This is a ticket to get a ticket at any one of these websites there, yeah. So first up, we have a great speaker this evening I'm excited to introduce to you, and I know you're going to enjoy this presentation. It's kind of unique, and I think it has a different twist than we've done in the past. And John, last month we had a guy, what was his name, his real name? What's that? I think we were having too much wine last night. Johnny Walker was our speaker's last night. So we have John Hyatt, right? Of the hotel here. Yeah, right? So meanwhile, John has an interesting background. 27 years, Lieutenant Colonel in the Army, right? And retired. And in your second life, he's a certified life coach. Also known as the Coach of Love. You got to say it that way, don't you? Love. Casanova. Coach of Love. Nice to meet you, man. All right, and also the Coach on the Square. How many people know anything? What would you say the Square is? Where? Marietta Square. Okay, so but pretty well known in those. I say those circles, but actually it's on that square. And you have how many kids? 5 kids and 29 grandkids?
4 right now.
4 grandkids, yeah. So he's going to tell you a little bit more, and you're going to enjoy his presentation. So with my pleasure to introduce John Hyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for our speaker?
Thanks, Rich, for inviting me out here tonight. It's my pleasure to be able to talk to y'all about business. What I really want to talk about, though, is free love. Okay, free love.
That brings back memories.
Yeah, I knew it would strike a chord with somebody here. Free love. Where is love important in what we're doing with our business? And the bottom line answer is it's huge. I heard Wayne Dyer speaking the other day on my audio tape where he says the whole key for sales, for business, is to love what you sell. And then you sell the love that you have for what you're offering. Okay, so with that as the background, think about loving what you sell. Now, let me ask this question. What is the highest cost of doing business?
Acquiring a new customer.
What's that?
Acquiring a new customer.
Finding a new customer, okay? Any other high costs? It's a free-for-all. Anything. What's that? Legal expenses. There we go, from the Legal Shield lady, absolutely. What else? Now, employees, right? Transportation, go ahead. Rent, okay? There's all sorts of expenses associated with your business. But let me tell you what the number one cost of business really is. And that's your energy cost. Okay, not electrical energy, not gasoline or natural gas, but your personal energy cost. Okay? So as a relationship coach and a business and a life coach on the Square in Marietta, I work a lot with people about their energy, about being aware of their energy, and then learning how to shift their energy from low to high in various aspects of their life. So this is what I'm going to talk about tonight, and in fact I'm going to talk about 3 different types of energy that you're dealing with. I mean, let's face it, right now everybody's at a different energy level here. The energy's high in the room because of the great icebreaker, and we're going to be drinking wine and things like that. But underneath, some of y'all are like, another networking meeting. Well, I hope I can get something out of this one, you know. Or, you know, I should be, my wife's mad at me because I'm at another networking meeting and I'm drinking wine, or my husband is. Or there's other things occupying that are affecting your underlying energy. So it's important to pay attention about how that energy focuses and impacts your business life. So there's 3 energies I'm going to focus on today. 3 different types. Your personal power energy, your perspective energy, and your process energy. Now, the first one is power energy, your personal power energy. This is the one that has absolutely nothing to do with your business. Absolutely nothing. It has everything to do about yourself. It deals and it's centered and grounded in your self-concept. Who you are, how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself. And I call it loving your real self, or being in touch with your real self. R is your respected self. How do you treat yourself? By the way you talk to yourself, your eating habits, the way you take care of yourself, the way you treat yourself in relationships. Number 2, E for esteemed self. How do you value who you are? What kind of value do you put on yourself? Is it high or low? A is your accepted or allowed self. How do you accept yourself? Do you allow yourself to be who you really are in comparison, without having to be compared to anybody else? And then the L is the culmination of all that, as being your loved self. Do you really love who you are and appreciate the unique gifts that you have as a human being? That personal power forms the foundation of every aspect in your life. It establishes the foundation for your relationships, for your business, for your prosperity, and for your health. Let me tell you a story. When I was left the active duty Army and went into Merrill Lynch up in Richmond, Virginia back in 2000. I was also hitting bottom in my personal power couldn't have been any lower. As a result, went through a divorce with my first wife, the mother of my 5 children. Not a good time to be hitting Merrill Lynch as a broker, getting my license, and then having to cold call 300 people a day. Okay? I was a mess. I couldn't focus on calling people. I was going through a really rough time myself. And that really had an impact on how I was showing up with my personal power energy in the workplace. The other aspect of that is that during a lunch and learn thing, a guy says, look, are you willing to invest in yourself? Would you buy the products from yourself? That really hit me hard. And I knew I was in no way, shape, or form cut out for that kind of business at that point in my life. So it didn't last very long, but it's all good because I'm here today having fun coaching. The bottom line about energy is there's high energy and there's low energy. So, high energy allows you to leverage your time, your resources, and your money. If you're coming in at a low personal power energy, that costs you money. So that energy, that personal power energy that you carry around about yourself is having a real dollar cost on your life, and it's also having a real cost in your relationships and everything else going around you. So, here's the key about personal power. You got to have your thoughts, words, actions, and emotions lined up. You got to be consistent in who you are and what you're trying to be. That means you have to value who you are and stand in your own personal power, independent of the opinion of other people. When you can get there, then you're truly empowered in your relationships and in your business. So that's the takeaway on personal power. The second power is perspective power. Now, perspective is all about the way we see things. Okay? And we create a story about everything that we look at. We create a story about our relationships. We create a story about our spouse. We create a story about our business. We create a story about our customers. We create a story about all other aspects in our life. The thing is, here's the deal about the story. Stories have energy and power. The stories you're telling yourself about all of those things are either high energy or low energy stories. And if you're telling yourself a low energy story about an aspect of your life, huge costs there. Huge costs to that story. So there's some key questions to ask yourself. And there's 4. Number 1, what is the story that I'm telling? What is the story that's going on in my life? What stories am I telling about my business, my customers, myself, my relationships? And how is that impacting what I'm doing? Okay? Number two, how is the story affecting my life? So what is the story? What's the impact of the story? How is this story, is it serving me? Is it moving me forward? Is it holding me back? Is my view of my partner in my business or my customers in my business holding me back from achieving the vision that I really want for where I want to be in my business? The third one is it possible to look at it in a different way? I tell you, if you take anything away from this meeting tonight, take that question. Can I look at a situation that's challenging me in my life in a different way? If the answer is no, I would beg to differ. I just don't think you've moved into the space to consider another possible story. Because once you can, the whole energy around that situation can shift. The story can change. And that's question 4. If there's a different perspective in a different way, what is it? How can I create a powerful story around what's going on? I have a friend of mine who's an artist, great metal artist in Atlanta. She does fantastic work. She had a challenging situation growing up with her family. And aspects of that story really affected her deeply, at a really deep level, at the core of who she really believed and felt that she was. Using her magnificent art capabilities, she created a fairy tale story around her life growing up. Who her mother was, who her adopted mother was, who her temporary mother was, who her father was. It's magnificent. And simply by her ability to change how she looked at that, she changed her whole life. She changed and shifted her whole center of who she was. So, as far as perspective is concerned, I challenge you to take a look at what stories are you telling yourself about things in your life. And how can you change that story? Are you willing to change it? Sometimes we don't want to change the story. We're attached to it. We've been telling a story for so long, our friends want to slap us upside the head. Stop telling me, stop whining, stop playing the victim card. You've been doing it for days, weeks, months, years. Okay? Let's let go of that. Imagine the freedom you'll feel, the energy you'll feel to focus on your business and your family and your relationships if you can let that stuff go. So that's perspective power. The third power is your process power. Now this is a little bit more business oriented. So as business owners, we've all got a process, right, that we do every day. Networking, emailing, phone calls, prospecting for sales, closing the deal, customer service, right? All of those different aspects that take up our day. Sometimes we've got a lot on our plate. It's overwhelming, some of the stuff that we have to do. Then there's some things that we don't get to, that fall through the cracks. And we start beating ourselves up for the things that fall through the cracks. Well, should have done this, would have done that, could have done that. Okay? Here's the key about the past. Stop shooting on yourself about what could have happened in the past. Stop shooting on yourself. It has no value. None whatsoever. In fact, be aware of where that word should comes up in your head. And ban it. Instead, change it to want. Forget what I should have done then. What do I want to do now? What do I want to create now? What is possible for me to do now? And put your energy in on what you want, not what you should want or should have done. Okay? So, when process energy it's all a matter about managing your priorities, right? And focusing on present moment action. That is, what is most valuable and profitable for you to do right now about your current business situation? It might be that phone call. It might be the email. But you're focused in the present moment. You're focused in the present moment. And that enables you to more effectively plan for the future. But that keeps you from chasing down all the endless mouse trails that can distract you, right, from the significant things that you really need to focus on and bring you back to the center. What is most important? Present moment action is what's most important. So it's all about managing those kind of priorities and trying to figure out what is most valuable for me to do right now. There's tons of tools. I mean, I don't even want to go into the number of tools that are available at the business level for you guys to manage your stuff. Smartphones, iPads, all the various apps, this software, that software. I mean, it's going to be different for each one of you based on the type of business that you have and what fits best for you. The key is to make smart choices that allow you to be most effective at your business in that process power. So again, the key to process power is present moment action, what best serves me. So when you wake up in the morning, and let's assume you're high energy, your core's feeling good, you value yourself, you're happy to be alive, you're grateful. What do I get to do today to move my business forward? I know myself, sometimes that word, what do I have to do? Okay? Can you feel the difference in the energy between having to do something and getting to do something? It's a total different shift. And that shift creates power. Okay? So if you catch yourself having, there you go. If you catch yourself having to say, I have to do this. I have to go to meet this person. I have to go meet that person. I have to close this deal. I have to crunch these numbers. That's going to create that low energy that is going to cost you money. Turn that around by using the word get. And use that in your personal relationships. I get to go home to my wife and kids tonight. I get to go home to my family. I get to drive my car from point A to point B. Replacing, switching, it's a powerful shift. And again, it's all about shifting your energy from from low to high. And realizing the cost that comes from having that low energy. How am I on time, Rich?
Unbelievable. You got about 3 more minutes. We want to leave room for some good.
So
Q&A.
let me take
I don't have
30
any door
seconds.
prizes, but I'm looking for some good questions or whatever. Yeah, John.
Let me just conclude by saying, be aware of the cost of your energy on your business and on your personal life. Take control. Get in touch with your personal power energy and shift that. Look at your perspective, the way you're looking at things, and shift your perspective power from low energy to high energy. And third, every day wake up being aware of present moment action and the power of process energy towards making your business profitable, your heart happy, filled with love. That's where the free love comes. Love doesn't cost anything except how you choose to look at things. John Hyatt, Coach on the Square. Thank you very much.